What a cake I've made, folks. Fantastic. Make it. Give it a try. Madness. Start the longest preparation process first, and that is cooking milk with sugar. You'll need 600 milliliters of milk. Choose milk with a higher fat percentage. The condensed milk will be better right away. To 600 milliliters of milk, add 200 grams of sugar. Grab a wooden spoon and take everything to the heat. When the milk boils, reduce the heat, because it doesn't need to boil so vigorously. It needs to simmer very slowly like this. And now leave it to cook to the desired thickness, which is between an hour and 20 minutes. In another pot, add 400 grams of raspberries or forest fruits. Cherries work too. Then pour in 150 milliliters of water and add 200 grams of sugar. Now let this boil and cook. While the fruit is cooking, prepare 2 tablespoons of cornstarch with 100 milliliters of water. Mix well to remove any lumps, and you'll cook this mixture into the fruit. After a few minutes of cooking the fruit, cook in the cornstarch. The whole mixture thickens very quickly, so stay with it and stir. This is the thickness you should get in the end. Remove from the heat and leave to cool. While the milk is cooking, prepare the crusts. You'll need 5 whole eggs. Beat the eggs with 250 grams of sugar. This is quite enough. You'll beat it a little more later. Next, you'll need a saucepan in which you put 250 grams of margarine or butter. Then add 225 grams of honey and take everything to the heat together. Stir over medium heat to melt the butter. When it melts and boils, add 20 grams of baking soda. It will all foam up, but keep stirring. Stir until this whole mixture gets a light brown color. Remove from the heat when it turns this dark yellow color. There we go. The milk is still cooking gently while the raspberries are cooling. Remove honey and butter from heat. Beat the eggs again lightly. Honey, butter, and baking soda go in their place. You can now see nicely what color this is. Here, I have 375 grams of all-purpose flour. Add half of it. And mix everything with a mixer. Then pour in the previously beaten eggs and mix everything together. After mixing the eggs, add the rest of the flour. The cake batter is ready. Divide the cake batter into 3 parts. Line a large baking sheet from the oven. This one is 42 by 32 centimeters. Don't take a small one. Pour in the batter and spread it evenly. It's easier with this spatula. Spread the mixture very thinly over the entire surface of the baking sheet. And while you're doing this, preheat the oven to 180 degrees. And while you do this, the oven will heat up. So take the batter to bake. the milk has just finished cooking. This is the color and thickness you should get. Be careful not to let it burn. From 600 milliliters of milk and 200 milliliters of water, you should get 200 milliliters of condensed milk. If you don't want to, you can skip this process and buy condensed milk. But this way, it's much cheaper and you'll learn something. Be very careful towards the end that this whole mixture doesn't burn. If necessary, reduce the heat even more. Now leave it to cool. The cake layer has baked. The baking time is 15 minutes. It is very soft to the touch, so don't be fooled into thinking it's not done. It is. Take it out and leave it to cool. Spread the second batter in exactly the same way and take it to bake. Third layer is ready. This one baked the shortest because the oven heated up really well. And it's ready in 12 minutes. And now, leave them to cool. Once cooled, cut off the edges of the layers to even them out, like this. Save everything you cut off because you'll need it later. And now cut the cake layer in the middle. Cut into 2 parts. You'll do the same with the remaining 2 layers. For the next filling, you'll need 700 grams of sour cream. Choose a higher fat percentage so that it is as thick as possible. If you don't like the taste of sour cream, you can use cream cheese. Pour in between 100 and 200 grams of powdered sugar. To taste, keep in mind that you'll be adding condensed milk. Mix everything together. Don't mix for too long so the sour cream doesn't release too much liquid. The milk has cooled and look at the thickness. Wonderful. You can use this for any kind of ice cream. When you cook it, be careful not to let it burn. And the cooking time will depend on the hob and the saucepan. Separately, whip 200 to 300 milliliters of whipping cream. This is pre-sweetened vegetable cream. Whip the whipping cream or sweet cream firmly, but be careful not to over-whip it. Add the sweet cream to this previous cream and mix everything together. Or rather, stir it. You can do all this with vanilla pudding. You also get a very nice filling in the end. Now, when you mix this and everything combines nicely, this filling is ready. And now the filling part. Put the filling that turned out thicker first. For me, that's raspberry, or rather this forest fruit. And now, put a thin layer of 1/5 of the filling. On top of that, 1/6 of this other cream. Now the second layer on top. And repeat the process like this until the end. Don't press too much so it doesn't leak out. If you have that square ring, feel free to put it on. And the last layer on top. Press and even it out lightly with your hand. Then spread what's left of the white cream on top and around. Although the filling seems thin, as you can see, the cake stands and doesn't slide anywhere. Once we've covered the entire cake, we place it in the fridge to chill and set. And only then will you grind these leftovers and sprinkle them from above. At the end, spread the cake with a little whipped cream or sweet cream. Or you can leave some white cream, so you won't need any of this. When you've covered the cake, grind those edges that you cut off earlier. If you don't have enough, feel free to add ground biscuits. I did that because I deliberately cut very thinly to make the cake as big as possible. See the final result. The combination of these ingredients gave this extraordinary taste in the end. Look how nice and soft it all is. Enjoy!